South Africa, a land of stunning beauty, diverse cultures, and a history marked by deep wounds. To understand apartheid, we need to go back, way back. European colonialism, starting in the 17th century, planted the seeds of segregation. The Dutch arrived first, followed by the British. Both groups imposed their will on the native African population. Over time, a system of racial hierarchy emerged. White supremacy took hold, woven into the fabric of society. Laws were passed that discriminated against black South Africans, restricting their rights and opportunities. This wasn't just about prejudice, it was about power and control. By the early 20th century, South Africa was on a path towards formalized segregation. The stage was set for apartheid. The world watched, unaware of the darkness that was about to engulf this nation. 1948, a pivotal year. The National Party, a group with deep roots in Afrikaner nationalism, rose to power. Their promise? To maintain the superiority of white South Africans, their tool? Apartheid. D.F. Malan, the party's leader, became prime minister. He wasted no time. Apartheid, an Afrikaans word meaning separateness, became the law of the land. The government swiftly enacted a series of draconian laws designed to divide and control. Black South Africans were stripped of their citizenship, their land, their dignity. They were categorized by race, forced to carry passes, and restricted to living in designated areas. The beautiful tapestry of South Africa was being torn apart, thread by thread. Enter Hendrik Verwoerd, a man often referred to as the architect of apartheid. He became prime minister in 1958, taking the reins of a system already steeped in cruelty. Verwoerd was a true believer in apartheid's twisted ideology. He envisioned a South Africa where black people were permanently relegated to the margins, serving the needs of the white minority. Under his leadership, apartheid tightened its grip. The Population Registration Act classified every citizen by race. The Group Areas Act forcibly removed black South Africans from their homes, displacing millions. Resistance was met with brutal force. The Sharpeville Massacre of 1960, where police opened fire on peaceful protesters, shocked the world. Verwoerd's apartheid regime had blood on its hands. Section 4. A system built on injustice, life under apartheid. To live under apartheid was to live in a cage, invisible but ever present. Black South Africans were denied basic human rights. Education, healthcare, and economic opportunities were reserved for the white minority. Families were torn apart, forced to live in separate areas. The pass laws, a cruel tool of control, restricted movement. Black South Africans were constantly harassed, arrested, and humiliated. The psychological impact of apartheid was profound, leaving scars that run deep. But amidst the oppression, a spirit of resistance flickered. People risked their lives to fight for freedom, for justice, for a South Africa where all citizens were treated equally. Section 5. The Long Walk to Freedom, Resistance, and the Fall of Apartheid. The struggle against apartheid was long and arduous. Inside South Africa, brave activists like Nelson Mandela emerged as beacons of hope. Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, became a global icon of the anti-apartheid movement. International pressure mounted. Sanctions were imposed, isolating South Africa from the rest of the world. The world was watching, and the tide was turning. In 1990, after decades of struggle and sacrifice, Nelson Mandela walked free. 4 years later, South Africa held its first multiracial elections. The world held its breath. The results were a testament to the indomitable spirit of the South African people. The African National Congress, led by Mandela, won a landslide victory. Apartheid, the system that had caused so much pain and suffering, was finally dismantled. South Africa had embarked on a new chapter, a journey towards healing and reconciliation. The road to true equality is long, but the legacy of those who fought for freedom continues to inspire. The story of apartheid is a reminder that even in the face of immense adversity, the human spirit can triumph. It's a story that demands to be told, remembered, and learned from, so that such darkness may never again engulf our world.